Hello, cats and kittens. Welcome to another day of doing math from home. There's a document that I posted on Google Classroom, also Jupyter Ed, so you can download it, you can print it out, and do it at home, and follow along as we do notes. If you don't have a printer, you can just write it in your notebook or write it on a separate sheet of paper. So let's take notes as we go, and then complete the work on a separate sheet of paper or write on a document if you can print it out. So today we're going to focus on graphing quadratic functions in standard form, and focus on especially on finding what the vertex is at, so the vertex and the axis of symmetry. So those two things that we want to focus on today, right? Vertex, axis, symmetry. We show why these are important and why we need them. Okay, so here's my notes. So you can add this to your notebook as we go. So this video is, you can use it, you can pause it, you can rewind it, fast forward it, go at your own pace. That's the main point about it. Go at your own pace, learn at your own pace. You can pause and stop as we go to help you out. So graphing quadratic functions in standard form. We're going to focus vertex and axis of symmetry. Okay, so when you talk about what is standard form, right, this is a standard form of function. So you have f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, and then a, b, c are real numbers. So there can be any numbers that we know of. Non-real number would be imaginary. That you're dealing with that in algebra 2. So it's dealing with real numbers. Okay, so f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And so you notice it's in standard form, right, from highest degree to lowest degree. So a polynomial in standard form would be highest degree to lowest degree. So that means a quadratic, right? So a quadratic has highest power is 2. So if your highest power is 2, then it makes it quadratic. And if it's in order, they call it quadratic standard form. Okay, so this is quadratic standard form. And we're given a problem, so that's just a general form of it. So we're given a problem, let's say f of x. So f of x equals 2x squared minus 12x plus 16. And we want to find what is the vertex. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, your vertex is given by your vertex, we're going to use this right here. So x equals negative b over 2a. That's why we have the a, b, c's there. So your vertex, so the x value of your vertex is going to be negative b over 2a. Okay, so this is our x value. So it'll be negative b over 2a for our ordered pair. So we just got to figure out what is negative b over 2a. Right, so this gives you the x value of your vertex. X value of the vertex. Okay, so given our problem, let's figure this out. So we can see that if you match it up, so this is our a, the number for the x squared, so a equals 2. This is our b, equals negative 12, and our c equals 16. So we just look at our function, identify what the a, b, and c are, and then put it into our x equals negative b over 2a to find the x value of the vertex. Okay. So we have x equals, so negative b, so negative b over 2 times a, right? So negative b is negative 12, so it's going to put negative 12 in there. And our a is 2, so put 2 in there. And then we calculate that out. So negative 12 will just be positive 12. 2 times 2, 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, so that's the x value of our vertex. So given our vertex, the x value is 3. Okay, so the x value is 3, but we gotta find out what the y is. Right, so once we have the x, what do we do with it? To find the y, right, we substitute it. So we're gonna substitute that in there. So f of x equals 2x squared minus 12, parentheses, plus 16. And we're going to put the 3 in there. Right, 3, 3. Or we can do red. And then figure that out. All right, so we got 2 squared is first. So that's 9. Bring it down. Then we can do, here, rewrite that, 12, 3 plus 16. Doing multiplication, 2 times 9, 18. 12 times 3, or negative 12 times 3 is negative 36. Plus 16. 18 minus 36, negative 18, plus 16, it's going to be negative 2. Okay, so that's our y value. So this is our y value of the vertex. And that goes right there. Okay, so our vertex is at 3, negative 2. Okay, so you got that. So we got identify what the A is, what the B is, what the C is. Substitute it into our x equals negative b over 2a. Right, this. And then once we got 3, we're going to substitute that back into our equation to get the y value as usual. And we got negative 2. So the y value of our vertex is now negative 2. So our vertex is at negative 3, comma, negative 2. Okay, so our vertex is given by, so negative b over 2a, and then to find the y, we just substitute our negative b over 2a, whatever the answer is, back into our function to get that value. Okay, so that's to find the vertex of standard form, and that's what we're going to concentrate on right now, and how to do it. Okay, so why do we need to know this? Right? Why do we care? Well, where the vertex is, or why is it important? Right? So let's say we get problems. We're going to get to eventually doing word problems where we can solve for the vertex to solve word problems. So we're given a graph, or given a quadratic function, and let's say you graphed it, it followed the graph like this. Right, so there's a vertex. So your vertex is right on the top here. Right, so that's your vertex. So we could have something like time and something like height on this one. So if we're given like a person that's throwing a ball, or throwing or kicking a ball, whatever it is, off the 3rd floor, right there, you can tell what the initial height is. Right, our initial height. It's right here. That's your y-intercept, right, initial value. So your initial height, threw it up in the air, it goes up to your vertex, which tells you how high it went, right, highest point and what time, and then you can tell when it hits the ground, how long does it take to hit the ground, right? So that's basically of how it works, so why we need the vertex. So you can find the highest point, what time is it at the highest point, and how high is it, okay? Or lowest point if it's going the other way. Okay, so let's focus on finding the vertex so we can answer word problems like that. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. So we have quadratic functions, standard form. So you have 2x squared, 16 plus 16x plus 34. So right, so you're gonna do x equals negative b over 2a. So we need to know what is the b, what is the a, what is the b, and what is the c, right? So here A is 2, B is negative 16, right there, C is 34. So we're looking at the quadratic equation. And we do negative 2A. So your B is negative 16. So we put that in there, negative 16. Our A is 2. So we got negative 16 is positive 16 over 2 times 2 is 4. So 16 divided by 4, 4. Okay? 4. So our vertex, our x value of vertex is 4. So we just write that in there. Okay, and it also turns out if your x value is 4 of your vertex, that is also going to be your axis of symmetry because your vertex right in the middle. So your axis of symmetry is x equals 4. So they're both the same. So your vertex, the x value of vertex is the axis of symmetry. Once you find that, you know where the middle is, and you just got to find out how high it is, what the y value is. So in our table, we can put 4, we put that in the middle, for our vertex, so 4, substitute that back in. So now we're going to do f of 4 to find out the height. So we got 2 parentheses squared minus 16 times 4 plus 34. 4 is in there. 4 squared, 16. 2. 16 times 4, 64. Plus 34. So we got 32 minus 64 plus 34. So it'll be negative 32 plus 34, which is 2. So the y value of a vertex is 2. So to graph our point, we just go 4, 2, which is right there. That's our vertex. And that's it. Right, so 2, 4, 2, right there. So our vertex is at 4, 2. So it's concentrating on what the vertex is and what the axis of symmetry is. And once we have that, we can start graphing it even more from that. But today we're just going to focus on that one, finding the vertex. Okay? This is number 1. So same thing again. So A equals negative 1. B is 4. C is negative 6. So just identify what the A, B's, and C's are. Then we use x equals negative B over 2A. Negative 2 times A. So negative B, B is 4. So we get negative 4. A is negative 1. So we calculate that, it's going to be negative 4 over negative 2, which is 2. All right, so our vertex x value is 2. And remember, the same thing is for our axis of symmetry. So for axis of symmetry, our vertex is 2 something, our axis of symmetry is 2. Okay, so just by doing that, you can find out what the axis of symmetry is. Then we're going to substitute that back into our equation. So f of 2 to find the y value. So negative squared for parentheses minus 6. Substitute the 2 in there. Calculate, remember, exponent first. 2 squared, 4. Bring down a negative. Plus 4 times 2 is 8. Minus 6. Remember the negative in front. So negative 4 plus 8, 4. Then minus 6 is negative 2. Yeah, so our y value is -2. So we can write our vertex in our table to -2, graph it. So 2, -2, that's our vertex. Use a different color, vertex here. Our axis of symmetry is right through the middle, like that. Yeah, and that's all there is to it. Yeah, so you can pause it as you go along. So you can do the rest, do these ones. Okay, so if there's a fraction, so here's a fraction right here. So we're going to identify what the a is. So a is 1/2, it's coefficient of x squared. B is -2, coefficient of x. And c is 1, that's your constant at the end. We're still going to use, so x equals -b over 2a. So we got negative parentheses over 2 parentheses. And then we're going to substitute our b, which is -2, and our a, which is 1/2. So that turns out, so -2 is +2 over 2 times 1/2, which is 2 over 2. And that ends up to be 2 over 1, which is 2. So that has the x value of your vertex. So here's 2. And that's also going to give you your axis of symmetry. Right, so x equals 2 is your axis of symmetry. Right there, and x is 2. And now we need to find what the y value is of our vertex. We're going to substitute that back in the equation. So f of 2 equals 1/2 parentheses 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 1. We can make this different color to see what we substituted. So we do exponent first, right? 2 squared is 4. Bring down the 1/2. -2 times 2 is -4. Plus 1. Okay, 1/2 of 4, or 1/2 times 4 is 4 over 2, which is 2. Minus 4 plus 1, so it's -2 plus 1, so that's -1. Okay, so the y value of our vertex is -1. Okay, we can write that in our table. 2, -1 is our vertex, so 2, -1 is right there on our graph. Yeah, so you guys try the rest. I'll be posting the answers on the document in Classroom, so check your answers as you go and show your work on your paper or on your notebook if you don't have a printer. Okay, so try those out and then post your answer in Classroom. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Try it out. Say good. Okay, guys, bye.